Hey guys, welcome back. DripCoach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify and operate with integrity and transparency. Today, going to be diving into a short clip from Swan Bitcoin, and they have this 1 minute clip that I think is way more influential and important than we may seem in regards to Bitcoin. So stay tuned. All right. For context, this is a video they released a couple days ago, just as a new era for Bitcoin. And they talk about the elections and the vision and where Bitcoin they think is going. But they go into just this quick overview of the demand for Bitcoin and its limited supply and the supply shock that will come. And I just want to play that clip for context, and then we're going to break down the numbers, because that helps drive this home so you can see really how epic this actually is.
So to recap, the Fed has started cutting rates into a strong economy. We will be seeing a pro-Bitcoin president and Congress sworn in the new year, which means a real potential for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, in which they have proposed buying 550 Bitcoin per day for 5 years to reach 1 million Bitcoin. Sailor and MicroStrategy are set to buy $38 million in Bitcoin per day for the next 3 years, and the ETFs are currently buying 3,000 to 5,000 Bitcoin per day. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know what happens next. To give you a pretty clear idea of how undervalued Bitcoin.
All right, I want to pause it there because he just went over 3 different catalysts. And again, just kind of glossed over it. Like, all right, yeah, I just want to throw these numbers out to you guys and let's move on. But when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So the first one he mentions, let's go back so you can hear it in context.
So to recap, the Fed has started cutting rates into a strong economy. We will be seeing a pro-Bitcoin president and Congress sworn in the new year, which means a real potential for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, in which they have proposed buying 550 Bitcoin per day for 5 years.
So that's the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve pitched by Cynthia Loomis. Now, none of this is guaranteed, but we do know that Trump is pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin. RFK was as well, and Loomis put out this plan. Loomis' plan is followed. The U.S. will buy 550 Bitcoin per day for 5 years, which will give them the 1 million Bitcoin that they want to accumulate. Just for math, go ahead and look at this. 550 times 365 times 5. They get just over 1 million Bitcoin. So we don't know what the price will be, but we can just look at this number. This is what's in 550 Bitcoin per day. So keep that in mind. Let's go.
To reach 1 million Bitcoin. Sailor and MicroStrategy are set to buy $38 million in Bitcoin per day for the next 3 years, and the ETF.
And this one, he's talking about MicroStrategy, 38 million. Now, where he gets that number is that MicroStrategy said they plan to buy or raise $42 billion to buy more Bitcoin over the next 3 years. That's their 21 plan. 21 billion of equity, and then 21 from debt off. So if we come back to our calculator, 42, 1, 2, 3, we'll be make sure that's right. 100,000 million billion divided by 3. So that's 3 years. So that's 14 billion per year. Then divided by 365, that gives you the $38,306,000 dollars spent per day. Right? So that's their goal over the next 3 years. So we'll break down what that number is in Bitcoin after we get the next one. Just keep that in mind now. So 550 for the Loomis plan of the total Bitcoin, and then 38 million per day in the Sailor.
ETFs are currently buying 3,000 to 5,000 Bitcoin per day. You don't need to be a rocket scientist.
And that was the ETFs. Now, he said 3,000 to 5,000. I don't have that number. But I do have BlackRock. So I didn't feel like looking at all the other ETFs. We can look at just BlackRock alone. So BlackRock has accumulated 432,000 Bitcoin. We can see from the Reuters article that it launched mid-January. I don't have the exact date, but I think it's like January 15th or whatever the case may be. So doing a calculator, January 15th till now, that's 299 days. So we come back to their total amount, 432,126. 432, 126 divided by 299. That means they've accumulated on average 1,445 Bitcoin per day. Now remember, there are other ETFs and there are also global ETFs in different countries. So I'm just using BlackRock in the US, but there's 8 other ETFs that are also buying Bitcoin. But we can just look at BlackRock just to get that number. That alone is 1,440. So let's just round that up to 1,450, and then the 550 from the US government, potentially, that alone is 700 Bitcoin per day. Now, we come over here, we see that there's only 450 Bitcoin per day that are allocated. So even if all the miners sold every single Bitcoin they mine, there's still 300 just off of these 3 entities, potentially, of course, that has to come from somewhere. Now, don't forget, Michael Saylor is spending $38 million of Bitcoin per day. So we can do simple math on that. Let's just say over the next 3 years, Bitcoin gets to 1 million per coin. Well, then that means they'd be able to buy 38 at that point. And if at the current rate, we look at what Bitcoin is at now, 38.3 divided by 75,500. So anywhere, we'll just call it anywhere from 50 to 500 Bitcoin per day that they're able to accumulate. And we'll put that at an average of, let's just say, 200 per day. Let's take that, 550 divided by 2, 200. So we got 550 from the US government, 200 from Michael Saylor, and then 1,450 from just BlackRock alone. That is already, what did I say? 1,450, 550, that's 2,200. So that's already 5 times more than what is being mined per day. So what has to happen? Well, that means this available Bitcoin in exchanges that we see here has to be sold. So there's about 2.3 million BTC in exchanges. Now, of course, this number can change because some people will take it out of cold storage, see an attractive price, and sell their Bitcoin, bring it onto an exchange to sell it, right? But let's just say on any given day, there's about 10% of the total supply of Bitcoin able to be traded. So if there is 2,000 plus Bitcoin per day just from those 3 entities that want to purchase, and there is only 450 per day that is available, well, the remaining 1,550 has to come from this supply that is circulating on exchanges. And the only way it comes from there is that people see a price they're willing to sell at. And that is something that is seen, as in this article, Dormant Bitcoin Wallet resurfaces after 12 and a half years sell-off incoming. So this wallet that was posted by Look On Chain Tracker saw this wallet that had been dormant for 12 and a half years. They had accumulated 400 Bitcoin, and they got it when Bitcoin was only at $5.45. They spent $2,180, and they sold 100 of it for, let's call it $7 million. That's insane. So I suspect a lot of these dormant wallets will come alive as well in the future, especially once we get to that coveted 100K mark. And I'm guessing that's what this person is meaning. And I listened to another article or a podcast about why we're struggling to break through this 75, get to the 80K level. It's because a lot of sellers pride themselves on being able to sell at that all-time high. So everybody right now who purchased Bitcoin before is in profits, right? So that means when a new all-time high is hit, it's a no-brainer for people to take profits. So that's going to continue to be the issue going forward. You're going to hit a bunch of different resistance levels. But as I showed you, the math states that just the 3 entities alone have more than a 5x supply shock. And that does not take into account the global population, the other nations and stuff that are accumulating and acquiring Bitcoin. Like, this is just going to be insane. So the opportunity is there. Again, as Raoul Pal said, not fuck this up. And if you focus on your blue chips, like it's as much of a guarantee as you can get in crypto. Like, even ETH has struggled to get back to all-time high. Anything. BNB broke its earlier. Mana already above its. So I think it hit it. No, it hasn't hit it again. 260. That was in November. So there's a lot of friction with other assets, and you just don't know if you're running around gambling. You know, that's why Raoul Pal says to focus on just 10% of your capital, because Bitcoin's the only one that you can have as close to a guarantee as possible. All right, that's all I got for this video. So smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment. Until next time, daily. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now